यहाँ पर शॉर्ट न्यूज में अब देखने के लिए जा रहे हैं। कह रहा है ट्रिपल ट्रीटमेंट रिपोर्ट, ट्रिपल थ्रेट रिपोर्ट, ट्रिपल थ्रेट रिपोर्ट। पहला कह रहा रिपोर्ट बाय द यूनाइटेड नेशन चिल्ड्रंस फंड एग्जामाइन ट्रिपल बर्डन ऑफ वाटर सैनिटेशन एंड हाइजीन। Water, sanitation and hygiene is called the triple. Water, sanitation and hygiene related threat faced by children. WAS means water, sanitation, hygiene. Water, sanitation, hygiene is a collective term to access safe drinking water, improve sanitation facility and maintain basic level of hygiene. Maintain basic level of hygiene. Triple threat and burden is defined as a less than 50% access to at least basic water or sanitation service within within top 20 country with highest burden of the death attributable to unsafe was among the children under 5 and within top 5 percentage of the country facing highest risk of climate environmental hazard in the United Nation, क्या है, यूनाइटेड नेशन यूनाइटेड नेशन यूनाइटेड नेशन यूनाइटेड नेशन चिल्ड्रंस फंड्स यूनाइटेड नेशन चिल्ड्रंस फंड्स चिल्ड्रंस क्लाइमेट रिस्क इंडेक्स के फाइंडिंग ऑफ द रिपोर्ट क्या है, ग्लोबली 600 मिलियन चिल्ड्रेन स्टिल लैक सेफ्टी मैनेज drinking water, 1.1 billion lack safety managed sanitation and 689 million lack basic hygiene service. Unsafe was lead to 4 lakh children death under the age of 5 each year. Triple burden is heavily concentrated in 10 countries in sub-Sahara Africa. Recommendation क्या, scale of current investment to meet WAS related SDG target by 2030, a strength resilience in WAS sector community, increase effective and accountable coordination, capacity to provide water and sanitation service, major climate and environmental risk factor for the children, uh, water scarcity, riverine flood, coastal flood, tropical cyclone, vector-borne disease, heat wave, air pollution, and soil and water pollution. Soil and water pollution. Soil and water. वाटर पोल्यूशन रिकमेंडेशन। उसके बाद यहाँ पर जो था ये मेजर क्लाइमेट एंड एनवायरमेंटल रिस्क फैक्टर फॉर चिल्ड्रेन, वाटर स्कार्सिटी, रिवराइन फ्लड, कोस्टल फ्लड, ट्रॉपिकल साइक्लोन, वेक्टर बोर्न डिजीज, हीट वेव एंड एयर पोल्यूशन एंड सॉलिड एंड वाटर पोल्यूशन। उसके बाद क्या है, असेसमेंट ऑफ द चाइल्ड सस्पेक्टेड क्या है भाई, कर रहा है नेशनल कमीशन फॉर प्रोटेक्शन of child right issue guideline for assessment of the child suspected in compliance with the Supreme Court directive in Varun Chandra Thakur vs. Master Volu 2022 case guideline will enable Juvenile Justice Board to conduct preliminary assessment to determine whether a child should be treated as a minor or not in a criminal cases which come under the heinous offense category of Juvenile Justice Care and Protection Children Act. And although the Juvenile Justice Act defines child as a person who has not completed 18 years of age in 2015, It was amended to aid a provision wherein a child in age group of 16 to 18 years could be tried as an adult in case of heinous offense. Juvenile Justice Board carry Juvenile Justice Juvenile Justice Board carry assessment to determine whether to try such a child as an adult or minor. Principle follow for the implementation of Juvenile Justice Act. First is principle of presumption of innocence, principle of participation, principle of safety, principle of best of interest, and principle of non-stigmatizing semantics, principle of right to privacy and confidentiality, and principle of natural justice. तो क्या है पहला क्या है यहाँ पर देख लेते हैं प्रिंसिपल ऑफ presumption of innocence क्या करा that is presumption of innocence from one malified or criminal intents up to the age of 18 years. Principle of participation, a right to be heard and participate for all in all process and decision affecting his interests. प्रिंसिपल ऑफ उसके बाद प्रिंसिपल ऑफ बेस्ट इंटरेस्ट क्या है ऑल डिसीजन टू बी बेस्ट ऑफ चाइल्ड एंड डेवलपमेंट ऑफ फुल पोटेंशियल चाइल्ड टेक ऑल मेजर टू इंश्योर चाइल्ड protection system. Principle of non-stigmatic, that is no use of adversal or accuracy word in the process. Principle of right to privacy and confidentiality. क्या करा protect the judicial key highlight of the guideline. General principle follow fundamental principle which guide Juvenile Justice Act implement refer box for the major principle under it. Preliminary assessment purpose determine age and four determinants physical capacity of the child, mental capacity, circumstance and ability to understand consequence of all alleged offense, role of juvenile justice board solely responsible for assessment, can take assistance from child psychologist, completion of preliminary assessment within a period of 3 months. उसके बाद क्या है ट्रिपल टेस्ट फॉर सरोगेसी ट्रिपल टेस्ट फॉर सरोगेसी Triple test for surrogacy. Karnataka High Court has evolved triple test to help a couple facing legal hurdle to have a surrogate child under provision of Surrogacy Regulation Act 2021. Act allow only altruistic surrogacy and penalize commercial surrogacy. Act allow only altruistic surrogacy and penalize commercial surrogacy. Triple test, genetic test for husband to ensure child is not born with any disorder. Physical test for couple to ascertain their capacity to manage the child. Economic test for couple to ensure that they can protect the future of the child. Economic test for couple to ensure that they can protect the future of the child. Physical test for couple to ascertain their capacity to manage the child. Triple test. So this much is the has been the in the current affair vision magazine. So social एक मैं और पढ़ देता हूँ. Short in news triple threaten report क्या कहता है भाई? A report United Nations Children's Fund examined triple burden of the water sanitation hygiene related threat faced by child was is a collective term to assess the safe drinking water, improve sanitation facility, and maintain basic level of hygiene. Triple threat warden is defined as less than 50% across to at least basic water or sanitation service within top 20 country with highest burden of death attributed to unsafe was among children under 5 within top 25% of the country facing highest risk of climate and environmental hazards in the US. Safely when 5 year each recommendation a scale of current investment to meet was related SDG target by 2013. A strength resilience in was sector and community increase effective and accountable coordination and capacity to provide water, sanitation and service. Major climate and environmental risk factor for children. First, water scarcity, riverine flood, coastal flood, tropical cyclone, water आगे पढ़ेंगे assessment of the children's child suspect preliminary assessment purpose determine age and for determinants physical capacity of circumstance and ability to understand and can take assistance from the child psychologist and completion of surrogate उसके बाद यहाँ पर और है surrogate उसके बाद नेशनल कमीशन फॉर प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ द चाइल्ड right issue guideline for assessment of the child is suspect and compliance with the Supreme Court directive in Varun Chandra Thakur versus Master Bholu 2022 case guideline will enable juvenile justice board to conduct preliminary assessment to determine in compliance with the Supreme Court directive in Varun Chandra Thakur vs. Master Bholu 2022 case guideline will enable juvenile justice board to conduct preliminary assessment to determine whether a child should be treated as a minor or not in a criminal cases within which come under the heinous offense category of Juvenile Justice Care and Protection of the Children Act 2023. Although Juvenile Justice Act defines child as a person who has not been key finding of report globally 600 million children still lack safely managed drinking water, 1.1 million lack safely managed the sanitation, 689 million lack basic hygiene service. A recommendation scale of current investment to meet was related SDG target by 2030 and strength resilience in was sector and community. Increase effective and accountable coordination and capacity to provide water sanitation service. Major climate and environment risk factor for children. क्या है भाई मेजर पहला है वाटर स्कार्सिटी, रिवराइन फ्लड, कोस्टल फ्लड, ट्रॉपिकल साइक्लोन, वेक्टर बॉर्न डिजीज, हीट वेव, एयर पोल्यूशन एंड सॉइल एंड वाटर पोल्यूशन. Assessment of the child suspect. National Commission for Protection of Child Right issue guideline for assessment of the child suspected in compliance with Supreme Court directive in Varun Chandra Thakur vs. Master Bolu 2022 case. Guideline will enable Juvenile Justice Board to conduct preliminary assessment to determine whether a child should be treated as a minor or not in a criminal cases which come under the heinous offense category of Juvenile Justice Care and Protection of the Children Act, Justice, Juvenile Justice Act 2015. Although Juvenile Justice Act defines child as a person who has not complete 18 years of age, in 2015 it was amended to add a provision wherein a child in the age group of 16 to 18 year could be tried as an adult in the case of heinous offense. Although Juvenile Justice Act define child as a person who has not completed 18 years of age, in 2015 it was amended to add a provision wherein child in the age group of 16 to 18 years could be tried as an adult in the case of heinous offense. Juvenile Justice Board carry assessment to determine whether to try such a child as an adult or a minor. Principal follow for the implementation of Juvenile Justice Act. Principle of the presumption of the innocent, that is presumption of the innocent from the any malified or criminal intent up to the age of the 18 year, and principle of participation, right to be heard and participation for all in all process and decision affecting his interest. Principle of best interest, all decision to be based on the best interest of the child and development of full potential of the child. Principle of safely take all measure to ensure child is safe while is in connect with the core and protection system. Principle of non-stigmatizing semantic, that is no use of adversarial or accuracy word in the process. Principle of right to privacy and confidentiality, protect privacy and confidentiality of child by all the means and throughout the judicial process. Principle of natural justice, adhere to the procedure standard of the fairlessness. Key highlight of the guideline. Key highlight of the guideline. General principle follow fundamental principle which guide Juvenile Justice Act implementation. Refer box for major principle under it. Preliminary assessment purpose, determine age and the for determine and physical capacity of child, mental capacity, circumstance and ability to understand consequence of all age fund and role of Juvenile Justice Act solely responsible for assessment can take assistance from the child psychologist. Completion completion of the preliminary assessment within a period of the 3 month. Triple test for surrogacy. Karnataka High Court has evolved triple test to help a couple facing legal hurdle to save to have a surrogate. क्या है भाई तुम चाइल्ड अंडर प्रोविजन ऑफ सरोगेसी एक्ट 2021 एक्ट अलाउ ओनली altruistic surrogacy and penalize commercial surrogacy. Triple test genetic test for husband to ensure child is not born with any disorder. Physical test for couple to ascertain their capacity to manage to the child and economic case to for a couple to ensure that they can protect the future of the child.